gonna do a quick summary and then we're gonna dive into the review. So Jeremiah's still on that stuff. He trying to, you know what, himself, obviously. He trying to go with his mom at. He trying to go with his mom at. He ended up telling Connie that he want her to come back or whatever. Connie getting sicker. She almost collapsed. Leslie making herself into Fatima. She was in her office. She was in her car, left a little toy or whatever on the dashboard. Fatima can tell something's off, but she hasn't said anything yet. Belinda tried to tell her about Leslie, but she wouldn't listen. She kept interrupting her or whatever. She did agree to give Belinda a chance, though. Zach started his anger management class. Nathan's wife, Lori, was there as well. Dr. Reed was telling Zach that he needs to take accountability. And I think, was that the last thing that happened? I think that was pretty much it, y'all, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think Preston was talking about nothing at the beginning of the episode. I think Zach was just worried about Fatima. I think Preston asked what he gonna do about Deja, and they was like, move. They was like, move. I wanted them to be together. I wanted him to give her a chance. Or whatever, and I wanted to see them actually hang out and date and stuff like that. But don't look like that's gonna happen, y'all. Hold on. But yeah, let's dive into the review. So first of all, they showed Angela, and they showed who we thought, not who we thought, but who you would assume from the back that it was Fatima, because she had the hair, she had the little black what they call it, a cardigan or a blazer or something like that. She even had the dress on, but she didn't turn around to see that part. But yeah, Angela went in there trying to talk to her. She held a little hand, her finger up and stuff like that. I said, that ain't her. I said, oh, that ain't her. That's that crazy girl. She was in her office dressed like her, from the shirt, the doggone blazer thing, to the dress, to the fake belly, to the hair. She dressed like her, pretending to be her. Angela ends up running to Fatima. She was like, what the world? She was like, how did you get right here? I just seen you in the office. She was like, I ain't been in there. I've been in the break room or whatever. So they was talking about that. She was like, she seen her and everything, but, you know, she was just kind of dismissive of it. I was like, girl, I had to go investigate. I said, what type of security? Nobody got no doggone security around here. Y'all a law firm and y'all ain't got security. I said, how's she able to get in and out like that? She was even in the car. I said, they didn't be fired at this point. Oh, yeah, I just remembered. On sister, of course they ain't got no doggone security. Andy done got beat up and everything. No, she done got, I don't know, did they beat her up? They started to beat her up and Fatima showed up, didn't she? Well, yeah, I said security ain't work for them if they do got security. But yeah, Leslie, we already talked about that. Fatima tells Angela that she's working with Sage or whatever. So Angela ends up leaving. Fatima was walking off and she was looking around before she walked off. So next thing you know, fake Fatima, Leslie, she took the paperwork. I said, she finna start messing with her job now. She took whatever document that was that Fatima put up there, she done took it. I said, I feel like she gonna interfere with the whole Sage situation or whatever, but we'll see. I'm assuming they're gonna eventually discover her, but we'll see. But yeah, what else? Let's see. Leslie grabbed that paper that Fatima put in the basket. Zach ends up talking to Bryce and Preston about Fatima working with Sage. I said, these people can't hold water. Well, she ain't want nobody to really know about that. But yeah, Zach tells Bryce to give it time with Angela or whatever. Leslie ends up going to the hair salon where Belinda worked. And she got Belinda to do her hair. And she was like, I think at first she thought that she was looking at her, and she made some comment. She thought that was Fatima, and she kept telling her, she was like, you remind me of my homegirl. She was like, the hair and everything, you remind me of my homegirl or whatever. And she was talking about her fiance, he into real estate and all that, and she was like, this is really weird or whatever. She just kept asking her questions and stuff. And what else did she say? I know she was like, she a lawyer, or she in school to be a lawyer. She engaged to somebody who in real estate. The girl crazy. That's just what it is. She's crazy. And Belinda just kept saying, this is really weird or whatever. And then she started talking about how her and her homegirl used to be cool, but she did something. Well, she ain't said that she did nothing. Leslie assumed that she did something. She was like, well, maybe you should apologize. She was like, I never said that I did anything. And she was like, the way you talk, I assumed that you did. And so after she left, she called Fatima. Fatima picked up. I was shocked that she picked up. So that's when she started trying to tell her. She was like, do you know somebody named Then she interrupted. She was like, she don't want to hear no gossip or nothing like that. She just kept going on and on or whatever. I hate when they do that. I hate when they interrupt, and I definitely hate when people don't tell them what they need to tell them. Just like Angela over here didn't tell that the girl was in her house with a key. But yeah, so that's when she was telling her she don't want to hear about gossip. And then Belinda ended up telling her she missed them. She ends up telling her she missed them or whatever. And Fatima admits that she missed them too. and she's willing to take things slowly or whatever. And I said, once again, y'all already know how I feel about that. No, N-O spells no. And once again, I always say the same thing, even though I say I don't agree with it. I say I understand, because on this episode too, Fatima, when she was talking, she was like, she assumed that Belinda was about to say something about Zach and how, you showed us this and that of him or whatever. I said, wait, when that happened? But yeah, the fact that y'all knew, that is different. Hold on. If I'm not mistaken, she said something about Belinda and Zach. I remember you telling us about him or something she said again, but we already knew that because she already said how Belinda used to come in just bragging about Zach, but she never gave a name. She never gave a name about who the guy was. But yeah, she assumed it was about that, so she never got to tell her. And that's when she agreed to, take things slowly or whatever. Belinda was happy about that. I still don't agree with that. I don't like how they try to spin this narrative that forgiving means forgetting. That forgiving and forgetting is how do they say it? I don't think forgiving and forgetting is the same thing. I think you can forgive anybody, but you can't forget everything. Like, I don't agree with this. I definitely don't, but we'll see how it plays out. Maybe she gonna make up for it. Maybe she gonna end up showing up for Fatima in a way that she needs. Maybe she gonna end up helping to save her, because she gonna need saving. The girl ain't no telling what else she done did. And she able to do whatever she wants. She in their house. She got a camera in their house. She was in her car. I said, I'm about to say, how did hate you? How she get in her car? Hold on. But yeah, what else? Let's see. Zach ends up stopping by to bring Fatima food. Then he ends up going to anger management class. He ends up seeing Lori. And then he ends up finding out that Dr. Reed is over the class or whatever. And he just didn't want to be there. But Dr. Reed was telling him how it's court ordered, so, he had to do the work and everything. Lori ends up telling Dr. Reed that she didn't go off on Nathan, but he wants to talk on his terms. And I don't agree with that either, because if you the one, now I don't know what she did. Well, I ain't going to say that. Well, I will say that. I don't know what she did, because they didn't actually show what she did if anything, if she cheated first or what. I don't know. But Nathan was talking about how he want to talk on his terms. I said, how you cheating on her and playing house with this lady? You talking about you want to talk. You lucky she want to talk to you at all, but I don't know. I'm assuming we're going to learn more about them. But I kind of like seeing Zach and Lori, in their dynamic or whatever. I'm interested to see more anger management class with both of them. Let's see. Zach ends up not taking accountability for why he there. He was mentioning his brother. He was mentioning his mama or whatever. And Dr. Reed was telling him basically, you need to learn to take accountability or whatever. Realize that the reason why you here is because of what you did. He's like, the reason I'm here is because somebody couldn't put the phone down. So whoever recorded him beating up Jeremiah. But yeah, what else? Did Jeremiah say that he had a wife? I know he said, I think last season or the season before last, that he had kids. I didn't know he had a wife too. Unless I just forgot. But yeah, what else? Let's see. Zach was, like I said, Zach wasn't taking accountability for his actions. That's when Dr. Reed was trying to get him to see that he has anger issues or whatever, and he should be able to control himself. And Dr. Reed, he said something, but I didn't get a chance to write it down because I was in a rush. He was talking about how people in life, they're going to upset us. They're going to do things and not care about our feelings. I said, you what? I said, you what? You know what? I said, you right. People definitely do that. They don't consider your feelings, even after the fact. They be running around living life after they don't sit up here and interfere with yours and disrupt your peace or whatever. I said, you know what, Dr. Reed? You right. When you right. Hold on. I said, that is a fact. So he started doing a little demonstration. He told Zach to get up. He got up. He pushed Zach. Zach was about to lose it already. But he didn't hit him, though. He was like, I've been wanting to hit you since I met you. He's like, well, that hurt my feelings. First, he was like, you didn't flinch. And he's like, no. But then he was like, I didn't think you was going to hit me. That's when Zach was like, I've been wanting to hit you since I met you. He was like, well, that hurt my feelings. I was like, you should be shocked. You should not be shocked. So then he sat down. The funny part was Zach asked Lori if he be pushing her like that. She was like, no, she been ran him over her car. That's why I say I like they little dynamic in the anger management class, and I want to see more. They should continue that for season 5, y'all. Because I know one season ain't going to help Zach. Don't help him at all. Let's see what else. Let's see. Fatima was walking to her car and like she was looking around and stuff. So obviously she getting suspicious. She could tell something's off. So she get in the car. Before she get in the car, I don't know if she seen the toy before she got in or not. Either way it go, it was a toy, a little baby thing on her dashboard. So she started looking around. I had to leave. I had to call somebody. I don't know what they don't did to this doggone car. I don't know. But yeah, she got it and she threw it down or whatever. She was looking around. I don't know. I don't think she got a chance to tell Zach. She didn't tell Zach. But yeah, Leslie don't put a baby toy in Fatima's car. Connie ends up seeing Jeremiah, asking him where he's been. He was just talking like, I thought I can't say the word, but y'all know when people ready to go, what they be saying. But yeah, he first he had something in his hand and he was like, he put it up to his head, then he took it down. I said, was that a razor? So he did it again and it was a razor. I said, look, I said, you don't need to do nothing else to your head. I said, you don't need to put no more holes in your head, sir. I was like, you need to put the razor down, step away from the razor. Step away from the razor. But yeah, what else? Connie was like, she want to help him. He was like, you can't help me or whatever. He started talking about how he saw his mama. She was like, she's dead. What are you talking about? He was like, I saw her, and he want to see her again, and he want her to come back or whatever. So, Connie, she like fainted in a way. She was about to pass out. She was like, Connie, are you all right or whatever? She was like, I'm okay. I just need to go lay down. I'm ready for everybody to find out she's sick. But yeah, she was like, I just need to go lay down or whatever. So she left. Fatima ends up going home and telling Zach that she's sorry for how she acted or whatever. I was waiting on her to apologize because she was definitely mean to him. He was just trying to make her breakfast and she was just so mean. But yeah, Jeremiah, they showed him he was behind the dumpster or whatever by a little fence. And he, was that a rope? I was like, is he about to, you know what? I said, what the world going on? I thought it looked like a rope to me. But yeah, he started, he had the needle and you know what they do. So then he was talking, he was saying how he lost his kids, he lost his wife, he lost everything or whatever. And he basically want to see his mama again. That was the end, and how, he had passed out. He had passed out, but he gonna be okay because once again they showed the trailer in the season 4 trailer. They showed him, the police was pulling him back and he screaming saying help me or whatever, and they was dragging him away. So I'm assuming that after this scene they're gonna commit him or something like that. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if they're gonna force him to go to rehab. I don't know, but we'll see. I don't know if they have to, what they call it when it's 24-hour watch or something. I don't know, but either way go, they showed the police dude pulling him back or whatever. He's screaming, telling somebody, I'm assuming Zach, to help him, but we'll see. But yeah, that was it. That was it. That was all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces, girls. Today be